This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
Well, a very pleasant good morning. It's 11:06 at WPSL 1590, the talk of the Treasure Coast. And you're on Never Alone from Harbor Place with a special guest host today, Christine Rigg from the Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors. And Christine, welcome.
Thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit about your organization.
Well, Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors, it's a nonprofit. We are in the Treasure Coast serving Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County. They were established in 2010. And what we do is we're a 100% nonprofit. We are all volunteers. There are no paid positions. And we give back to the seniors in the community, typically low income.
Well, that's phenomenal. Tell us, where are you headquartered, and phone numbers for folks out there who might be interested.
Well, our headquarters is basically in Port St. Lucie. The volunteers, we all always meet in Port St. Lucie area. If they needed something, they're able to contact us either by our email account, which is tcadvocatesfl@gmail.com. They can call us directly. Me personally, my phone number is 561-445-9937. So we just gather and then we vote on things that seniors need in the community.
Well, tell us a little bit about the organization. You're 12 years old. It seems like you guys have been relatively quiet.
For the past 2 years, yes, during COVID. During COVID, it was very hard to raise funds. I mean, I'm sure that was for a lot of nonprofits. We had to cancel some galas, some functions because of COVID. People afraid to still come out. A lot of people do know us, like Council on Aging, the Kane Center. We work with them, the Hands Clinic. We have donated to them as well. They usually come to us with a senior in need, whether, for instance, we had a senior that a home health company went into and his AC was down and didn't say a word, found out he was a vet, reported it to us, and we purchased the AC unit. We vote, of course, and then we purchased the AC unit and got an AC company to volunteer their services to install the AC unit. So we also get people to also help back in the community as well.
Boy, that is nice. That's really nice. So, again, I mean, how do you find these cases?
We're well known through home health agencies, the assisted living facilities. They're aware of who we are because they help us raise funds. They sponsor us. And when we do, or when we are able to have these functions, they are sponsors. So when they have a senior that is in need, whether it is new clothes, which we take donations in, whether it's DME equipment, which we usually have on hand because we take the donations in, if it's funding for something in particular. For instance, we had another home health that refused to go into a home because it was infested with rats, and so it just wasn't healthy conditions. So we got some money for housekeeping to go in there. We got a pest control company to go out there, and he donated his time and services and gave back to the community as well.
Boy, this is amazing. Yeah, all you do. Now, obviously, we are all going to be getting together at the Hurricane Expo at Mid-Florida in just 2 weeks?
Yes.
And it's just nice to get out now. You mentioned galas. Are you planning anything for fall or maybe next spring?
We actually are trying to plan a gala. We actually were supposed to have a meeting last week. It did get postponed. So we were supposed to have a golfing event. Again, COVID affected that as well. And we also do bingo nights. So we like to get email chains. We do have an email list. If anyone was interested, if they can just please email us, and we'll always email out those events to you. We do post them on social media. We try to get the events out there. So everything that we raise, 100% of everything we raise goes right back to the community. We do not keep a penny.
Boy, that is absolutely marvelous. Do you have, like you mentioned, social media? Do you have a Facebook account?
It is. It's under Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors. It should be easy to find.
Okay.
If they're on my page, they can find it through there, or I can send them a link. Again, if they email us at tcadvocatesfl@gmail.com, I am more than welcome to happy to send that to them. We also do have education once a month. It's the last Thursday of every single month over at the Port St. Lucie Community Center on Oroso Boulevard. And that is the last Thursday, not every fourth Thursday, but the last Thursday of every month. And that starts at 8:30. We have an education every single month. It's a different one. And we also network. If anyone has any questions for anyone in the medical field, they're able to, show up and ask those questions there as well.
How many advocates do we have here on the Treasure Coast for Seniors? How many of you are there?
Right now, there is currently, I would say, about 8 of us. We are recruiting new members. The rule is that they come to 3 education meetings, show that they're participating, then we more than welcome to vote them in as members. We are looking for new members.
Wow, this sounds very rewarding. It really does.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, okay. What the next question? You're looking for members. What are the qualifications for someone who could help you at Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors?
Well, to show us that they're interested, all they have to do is show up to 3 meetings in a row during our educations, which again are the last Thursday of every month at 8:30 at the Port St. Lucie Community Center on Oroso. If they want to get on our email list, they can just email me and I'll add them to our email list. If they show, by showing that interest and showing us that they want to join, then we get together, we get together once a month and we vote them in as one of the board members. We can get any help we can get. We'll take it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it sounds amazing. And what also I think is just wonderful is the cooperation you get from like pest control companies and, for folks, business owners out driving around. What are you looking for in that area?
Well, as it arises, because we do network a lot, we know people in the community, not just in healthcare, we know businesses. So if we do have a senior in need, we do approach a couple businesses and see who can help, whether it's reducing the rate at cost or volunteering their time. What do we need to do to get them what they need, whether it's an AC unit, whether it's a housekeeper. We do get some of them to donate back some of the rates or even just completely their time for installation.
Boy, that is amazing. And do you have like regular companies that you deal with at all?
Yes, I'm not sure exactly who the AC person was. That was some time ago. The pest control that always gives back. He's always there whenever I call. Goodfellas Pest Control. He helps us out a lot. He helped us raise money as well. He participated in our lip sync battle. He's wonderful. And, there's a couple other companies. I work with AC Advantage. Anyone that I know that loves to give back to the community, I reach out to them and we all work together as a team.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. And the Goodfellas, they donated the Christmas kids in the past.
Yeah.
So yeah,
They're great.
They're wonderful. Yeah, that's great. So if you're a business, again, they can just email you and say, hey, how do we get involved?
Absolutely. We also work with the Keene Center. We work with Council on Aging. We give back gift cards every year so that they can donate it. They choose the families that need meals or whatever they need for Christmas or Thanksgiving. We give back to them whenever, if anyone has any Depends, pull-ups, pads, the supplies that these ALFs can use, especially these adult daycares, they're welcome to just call us and drop, we'll arrange pickup and that way we can get it to the seniors in need that cannot afford those things.
I know Carol's mom went to Alzheimer's daycare in Fort Pierce, and those people were saints. They were just amazing folks to deal with. But I would imagine, they would definitely need supplies.
Yes, absolutely. They need the pull-ups, they need the gloves. And a lot of times, people that are on hospice that barely use any of these the supplies, and they're loaded up and people just throw it in the trash. No, those are perfectly good supplies. Some of them are just even packaged and unopened. We're more than happy to come get them.
Okay, so yet another reason to either email or call you. I think that would be phenomenal.
Yes.
Well, now tell us about your relationship with the folks at Harbor Place. I know Jack and Pat, they're just absolutely amazing, and Harbor Place is just, it seems like it's been around forever. And
Yes.
yeah, it's just a wonderful place.
Well, other than Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors, I do have an agency. It's called Elder Home Care Services, and we provide private duty. This allows me also to give back to Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors. And, we do staffing, we do private duty, and we go into Harbor Place all the time. We refer to the community when it comes to residents looking to relocate. And also Harbor Place, they do help out with Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors. And I know pre-COVID, we did have one of them as a board member on board. So they give back as well. And, they're wonderful.
Yeah, that's so true. It's an amazing place. Well, tell us about your other organization then. Are they
So,
nurses? Are they nurses then?
yes. Elder Home Care
Okay.
Seniors, there's certified nursing assistants, home health aides, LPNs, nurses, whatever our seniors need. That's what we're able to, supply them. So they call us when they need that extra help in the home, when they go home from the hospital, from the rehab, they're declining at home, or hospice comes in and doesn't provide that 24-hour care yet. We're able to help the family out with the 24-hour care. So that's what Elder Home Care Services does in the Treasure Coast.
And is this also obviously, what are the fees involved in something like that? Is it like a normal
Yeah.
healthcare?
Yeah. So they do range. Some people are able to qualify for Medicaid. If they qualify for Medicaid, then that helps out with their assistance. Medicaid does not, do 24-hour care. And then there's also VA. We also see, has anyone served in the military? Do they qualify? If so, let's get them some VA benefits. And then the VA pays for some of our care. So we can do that. And a lot of the seniors, they took out something called long-term care insurance. Long-term care insurance also pays for this. And then we also start the claims for them. We do all the paperwork for them. We do everything because they're confused. They don't understand. A lot of them get denied 100% need the help because they don't know what they're doing. So we go in and we say, nope, we're doing all the paperwork for them. We'll do this, help out with the assessments. We'll make sure they're there. And we walk them through the entire process so they do get approved. And then the last way would be private pay. Private pay can range, whether they're 4-hour shifts, we need to go in just for a bath visit, 24-hour care. It depends on really what their needs are.
Yeah, that sounds great. Now, in the private pay area, then what? If somebody's got some parents that are just moving down here and might need some help, they can just call you then?
Absolutely. It can be short term, it can be a week, it can be just 2 days a week, just for someone just to go and give them a shower, clean up, make sure they're having meals, check in up on them. And it can be anywhere up to 24 hours care. We do everything.
Boy, this sounds amazing. It really does. So it's kind of like you kind of really cover it all then.
Yes, we do. We also do transport as well. So we do everything full service. And the good thing about the Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors is whatever you need, whether it's a referral for a rehab, which rehab would you recommend? Which ALF would you recommend? I can't afford an ALF, or I don't like the huge environment. I want to go to a small ALF. I need transportation. We're now wheelchair bound. I can't get to my doctor's appointments. I don't want to go sit in a doctor's office and get blood work. All of us with the Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors, we have all these relationships with all these vendors. We can get x-rays out to the house. We can get mobile blood units out to draw their blood. There are so many resources that people are not aware of.
Yeah, well, I didn't even know that you could bring an x-ray to a house, or the same with blood draws. I didn't know you could do that.
Yes, yeah, I do it myself. I personally don't want to go sit over in an office at noon fasting and waiting for my blood to be drawn. I get it sent straight to my house. Absolutely.
Wow. You're a wealth of information. I'm gonna talk to you after the show. Yeah, it is probably the worst part of it is just sitting in an area that's rather confined. And I think we've all learned a little bit from the pandemic.
And also, I mean, you don't know how long you're going to be there. You got places to go. Mobile blood, I can get it done at 7:30 in the morning before, while I'm getting ready for work, they go to your house. Same thing with mobile medical. A lot of people don't know how they're going to get to and from their doctor's offices. We have mobile medical resources so that we can arrange for a nurse practitioner to go out to their home and do mobile medical.
Okay, dumb question. Does Medicare cover any of this?
Yes, it does. Medicare pays for it. Medicare pays for all of that. It pays for the x-rays. It pays for the mobile medical. It pays for your blood draw. Medicare covers all of that. Skilled nursing, if they need physical and occupational therapy, wounds, there's medication management, learning that going back to their house and their meds are crazy and they need some Medicaid education. Medicare pays for that as well.
That's very, very interesting. Now, do you have problems getting nurses for this, or is it
no, we work with a group of resources, a group of vendors. So whatever their needs are, depending on their insurance, we get together and we know we've been in this community for decades. And when I say decades, I mean the actual volunteers. So we have a lot of resources in the community. We know things that exist, whether it's another nonprofit that can also chip in out and help if someone's homeless or needs something else and we're not able to get it, we work with other nonprofits. If they need a vendor, we know who to go to or who to call to get, see if that vendor is available or who can do it for this specific client, who covers this area. So if they just give us a call and they just need education or information, they're able to call us and we can refer all of that out to them.
Now, are you guys part of United Way?
No, we're not. We are private. We are strictly in the Treasure Coast and we stay in the Treasure Coast. And like I said, there is no paid anybody. We're 100% volunteers.
Gotcha.
That knew this resource was needed. Yeah.
Okay. That is amazing. So the nurses themselves, they work for a separate service, I take it, because obviously they've got to get paid.
Yes, absolutely. Well, they get paid by the agency, who in turn Medicare pays that. So it depends on what the service needs. If it's private duty and they needed a nurse, obviously either the long-term care would have to pay for that or that would have to be private pay. But if they needed skilled, like rehab, anything that's skilled, rehab, PT, OT, speech, wound care, some training, there's other issues that Medicare will cover that they will send the nurse out and Medicare will pay for that. They get paid through that.
So, okay. So you need PT. Can a physical therapist then go out to the house?
If you're considered homebound, you can receive it at the home rather than doing outpatient. A lot of our seniors have transportation issues. A lot of our seniors may be in a wheelchair and can't afford the wheelchair transport. So they are able to be considered homebound and receive these services at home covered by Medicare. Yes.
Wow, this is really enlightening. We're almost halfway through the show, but you might want to tell folks, give them your numbers again and your email address, how they can get a hold of you.
Well, my name is Christine Rigg. I am the administrator of Elder Home Care Services. Our phone number is 772-924-9700. And the Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors, again, if they want to get a hold of us, they can still call us on that line because I am a volunteer and I am on the board. So they can call me directly through that line or my cell phone, 561-445-9937. And our email for the Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors is tcadvocatesfl@gmail.com.
Well, wow, this is something. I just can't believe that you're covering all this area with just 8 people. I think that's amazing.
Well, it's right now it's a board of knowledge. So we all have resources. We even have an elder law attorney. So if somebody needs specific paperwork, we also have an elder law attorney on our board as well. Well,
we're into shameless promotion here. Have you got his or her name?
We use George Huff. And he is proactive legal. He's also certified in getting them their VA benefits. So if they don't financially qualify, he's able to help them with that.
That's very good. That really is good, because, there again, you get caught in that legal quagmire. It seems like that can be just an absolute mess.
Absolutely. They're in rehab. They can't go home. They have no care at home, can't afford to go home at 24-hour care, but they may qualify for VA benefits or may need to move some things around. That's when we call in George. That's who I usually refer out in the community, because he's really great, fast, efficient, reasonable priced. So, and then we have other attorneys as well that do different things. It depends on what their needs are.
So what would the other attorneys be doing? Like, actually, you mean like drawing up wills and stuff like that?
George does that as well. Any elder law attorney can do the wills, the trust, they can do the power of attorneys, but you always want to deal with an attorney that if you need VA or Medicaid and you do not financially qualify, it's just, you're just off by some, and you just need to move things around. And whether it's trust or what is it called? It's called a personal service agreement, so that we can get you into long-term care and get you Medicaid pending. You definitely want to deal with someone that is certified in VA or Medicaid. You don't just deal with any elder law attorney. All the elder law attorneys can do the basics, which are the trust, the wills, the power of attorneys, the health surrogates. But if you are doing something specific, you want to make sure that that attorney is certified in that area.
Ooh, that's again something that I never really thought of, because
You don't want to pay all that money and get denied, and because they didn't know what they were doing. Yes, you need to make sure that they're certified.
Very interesting. So you mentioned the Cane Center, and that place, I've been there several times, and it's just, they do amazing work down there.
They do, and they've given back to us as well, where we needed to raise funds and do our galas, which we did the lip sync battles. We've done Dancing Like the Stars over there, and the Cane Center was more than happy to volunteer the venue. So they helped us out with that, so we can keep more money at the nonprofit.
Yeah, I think there's a financial planner that I know that did pretty well on that Dancing with the Stars, as I remember. He actually did some singing there too at the Cane Center. Oh my, that's crazy. That's good stuff. Well, now back to the nurses again, especially if things are not going well for you, and you may be sliding quite a bit. You might need 24-hour nursing care.
Correct. We do everything for 4 hours up. Some do split shifts where mom needs help in the morning, and then maybe in the evening she seems to be doing pretty well. Some of them live in assisted living facilities where we get them down to lunch, get them involved in activities, just come back in the evening and just help them, whether it's just getting back on their pajamas, getting them to bed, winding them down. Our CNAs and HHAs, when it comes to those nurses, they do everything hands-on: bathing, dressing, transferring, incontinence care, to making the beds, help with meals if that's what they need, if they're not in an assisted living facility, help with the medication management, taking them to their doctor's appointments, scheduling their appointments, communicating with the families. So we provide all the hands-on care if that's what they need in the home, that extra help.
Well, we stream this show into several different countries, but folks living in the United States, if you have relatives here in Florida, especially Treasure Coast, they really need to think about you, especially if they're thousands of miles away from their relatives.
Yeah, usually it's the children who come in. They come in for the holidays. Mom and dad are not being honest about what's going on in the house, or mom and dad are developing memory issues. So they're not realizing that they need help. And it's usually the children that do call us and say, listen, I just came for my busiest day out of I have 2 busiest days out of the entire year: Easter and Christmas. My phone blows up. On Easter and Christmas, they do not care that it's a holiday. That's when the children are visiting. Oh my God, look what I walked into. Yes.
Well, but that's there again. That makes sense, because those are your big travel weekends where families would definitely be getting together.
Yeah,
Wow.
and they see what mom and dad are hiding.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. And I understand that. I'm getting up there. So it's like I can identify with a lot of that. But yeah, and that's I would imagine if our kids came to that house, they might be shocked. But you never know. But again, you mentioned the children or adult children, obviously. How many of those calls do you guys take?
I'm going to say about 75% of them are from the children.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's usually the senior that you have to convince to let someone in and help, to accept the help.
And that makes sense too. Yeah, because even though you're a little older, you still want your independence.
Absolutely.
Or think you want your independence.
Exactly. Or do I want someone hovering around me 24/7? And sometimes it's not even that, because sometimes we actually get calls where they don't need any assistance at all. They're lonely. They need companionship, someone to go over there and get them out of the house, take them to Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast, take them out to lunch, take them down to the community centers and get them involved in activities. So sometimes it's just loneliness as well, which causes depression.
Well, and there again, I can kind of identify with that with all my relatives over in California. They're up in the state of Washington. Yeah, I get that.
So,
Yeah.
and then we have caregivers for that. Just get them out and are great getting them out and where they don't even want them to, please don't wear scrubs. Please I want you to be my friend. Come in plain clothes. Absolutely. We cater to them. It's whatever their needs are.
And these are not nurses necessarily, right?
Those are home health aides and they're certified nursing assistants. So we always place them with one or the other, not traditionally companions, because eventually they may need that hands-on help. And they fall in love with someone who's just a companion and they start to need the hands-on care. We would have to switch out that caregiver and eventually anyways, because she's not certified to touch. So we only use home health aides and CNAs. So that way, when they fall in love with that person, they get to keep that person.
Okay. Which makes a lot of sense because they get to know that person. Yeah.
Yes. And when they're dealing with any agencies, we are in the state of Florida. It is a requirement and the law, they all have to be certified, bonded, insured. The state of Florida does their fingerprinting. It's not us. It comes through the state of Florida and they do an FBI background check. So that's anyone certified in the state of Florida. It's rather than, taking someone random off the street, a neighbor down the street, someone you personally know, someone from church. We can't check their backgrounds. We can't monitor them. We can't do anything. We don't know if they're certified. They do something. Do they have liability insurance? Can they touch? Do they know what they're doing with the medications? And did anyone check the backgrounds? So that's why you always want to go through an agency.
Wow. And how many agencies do you deal with then overall? This sounds quite complicated.
Well, other than myself, who is, we provide this care. So there is myself, which is Elder Home Care Services. We have another one on the board. Her name is Andrea. She's with Tender Touch Caregivers. Plus I have relationships with other people in the community. There's Aqua, Atlantic, Charmed Life. We all work together. I can't place something or I can't take something. I will hand it off to them. We work with each other. We help each other.
That's marvelous. I just think this idea is phenomenal. Now, are you unique in the country or is this kind of common in every major city?
It is common in all 50 states. All 50 states have different requirements. Florida and Texas being the strictest of the 250 states. So that if you're definitely going through an agency in the state of Florida, they come in, they do their annual audits, they go through our files. There's someone that you can always report to. Again, we don't even do the background checks. The state of Florida does that before we're even able to utilize any of these caregivers. And something happens, we immediately get an email if there was an incident with a caregiver and the state of Florida finds out. So these are the two strictest states and then it differs from there, state to state.
And that is actually, that's good to hear. Yeah. Hey, I don't mind them being strict, because the one thing when you get a little bit older is that
You want to prevent elder abuse. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And
And
Florida
it's there.
with our seniors, and yes, we're overwhelmed with seniors here. So they're protecting the seniors.
Boy, that's great stuff. Well, now again, you mentioned about your golf tournament. Are you looking at rescheduling that now that we're starting to
Yes, we
see
are.
some
We're
of those?
actually having a meeting. We're looking to have it at the Savannah Club, our next golfing tournament. So we'll be meeting with them. If you're familiar with the Savannah Club, they have a beautiful golf course out there. So we'll be meeting with them. I believe it's next week to see what we can set up.
That'd be great. So are you looking at what, fall or winter on that?
Yes, cool time. Yes, nice and cool time, not hot and sunny.
Not hot. Good
And
luck.
then I have to go out there and volunteer in the hot sun. Yes.
Yes, we know it well. I think we all do those charity golf tournaments. That's for sure. Well, that would be wonderful if you get that, and if you can start pairing that with the gala, that will
Absolutely.
help raise some money for you guys.
Absolutely. And that's what we need. That's exactly what we need, because when the senior needs help, we have to decide whether or not do we have funds to help them, because the last 2 years, I'm sure, took a toll on all the nonprofits. So the last 2 years, we were not able to raise any funds because of COVID. Everything was shut down.
So then what happened to the seniors? Do they still get help?
We try. So like if they need certain things like DME, or if they need diapers, if they need clothing, we still get donations, things that we can help them with. If we know that they really need something, like I said, we work with other nonprofits in the community, or is there a company out there that's willing to help or donate some time and see what we can do to raise the funds. I mean, I personally have had to donate funds myself out from elder home care services just to get something covered. So, and that's not an issue. That's what we're here for. As long as it stays in the community, I'm perfectly fine with that.
That's wonderful. Gosh, thank you for being there. Because it really is. It's so important. But
Yeah.
again, are you looking for potential advocates now more?
Absolutely. Yes, we would like to revamp the board. Like I said, I believe we're down to 8. We would like to have 12. So we are looking for more board members that are interested in helping and love to help the community.
So you work 4 counties, right? The whole Treasure Coast, Okeechobee,
Treasure Coast, yes.
Martin, and St. Lucie and Indian River. Wow.
Yes.
So you're basically Sebastian all the way down to Palm Beach then.
We could. It depends on the senior. Yes. And it depends on what the needs are. Absolutely. So if maybe they're getting their light shut off, we'll help pay out, reinstate their light. And, after that, maybe there's other services that can help bail them out. It's not something that we just continue to pay. We help with something like I said, they need to receive services in their home. What's going on that they can't receive services in their home? The veteran who was sitting there living with no AC because he couldn't afford it and it just happened to come across our table. Things like that. Do they need clothes? Do we have some seniors around Christmas time that have nobody around? There are no meals, no nothing. Do we want to have meals delivered?
So now let's see, it was a elderly group in Fort Pierce, and they used to have Meals on Wheels. Is that still in existence?
Yes, that's Council on Aging does have Meals
Council
on
on
Wheels,
Aging, yes.
and there is a waiting list. So we try to, if we have enough funding at the end of the year, because we like to make sure every year we just restart from January on. So if we have any funding left in at the end of the year, then we usually donate that to Meals on Wheels so that they can get some people off the waiting list.
Oh, that's great. That is really great. So again, this would be the meetings, the last
Thursday.
Yep.
The last Thursday of every month over at the Port St. Lucie Community Center on Oroso at 8:30.
So folks, if you're out driving around and thinking this is a pretty good idea, boy, it sounds like a great place to volunteer. It really does. And how many clients do you have on the Treasure Coast?
So as far as Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors goes, it's not really clients. When they come to us with a need, we get it taken care of, and then we go on to the next person that has need. has a need. Elder home care services, that would fluctuate as well. It depends on what the need is. We also, a lot of agencies is seasonal. Snowbirds, which I'm sure you're familiar with the word snowbirds.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so that can go up to, like around 100 or so. We always have like 300 caregivers or more on staff. So that way, anyone needs a day off, it's a personality matchup. It's like a matchmaking game. So if you're not able to match them, then we move on to another caregiver, because we want to make sure that their personalities click together and that patient is always happy. But as far as Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors, we just work with all the seniors in the community. Sometimes it's just they want education, and anytime they want to be referred to anything, I'm in the hospital, but I don't know which rehab to choose, or I need to get out of this rehab because of this, or I have this insurance. What can I do? They just give us a call and we educate them, and we get them connected to that resource in the community.
That's great. And of course, you're obviously connected with all the rehab facilities around.
Correct. Rehabs, assisted living facilities, the small ALFs, which people are not aware of. We have a great relationship with them, and there's over 100 in the community. And a lot of them are looking to fill beds, and a lot of them take just straight Medicaid, where a long-term care facility doesn't take straight Medicaid. We can, I'm running out of money. I need to relocate to someone that will just take only my Medicaid. Sure, we'll get them into a small bed facility.
I didn't realize that there was such a proliferation of the small ALFs on the Treasure Coast.
Oh, yes. Yes. A lot of them are trained nurses that decided to open up some small ALFs. They buy a home. They have it turned into a small ALF. They have to be certified by the state as well. They go through surveys. They get audited. They have to make sure that they follow all the rules and regs, and they have usually about 5 to 6 beds.
So then how would they fill up their beds then? Do you
A
guys
lot of
help
them,
that?
a lot of them are Medicaid referrals. So if someone's on Medicaid,
I got you.
family doesn't know what to do, spouse passed away, she's alone, can't afford the ALF, or doesn't even just like the big ALF environment. I don't like all that. I want to be, alone. I want something small and quaint. Then that's where we refer them to that. And then some of them are private pay. But when they like the big ALFs and they want the activities, and even though the small ones have the activities as well, I like to socialize. I like to go out of my room and see a group of people. Then, we refer them to places like Harbor Place. So.
Yeah. And that's where you talk about the events. My
Yes.
gosh, Harbor Place is
Always have something going on.
wall-to-wall events. It's
Yes.
great. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone's happy over there. And then you got the rehab right next door. So you don't have to go very far if you do need some rehab.
And that is probably the most unique aspect of
Yes.
Harbor Place.
Yes.
It's a continuum of care.
Yes.
Well, now, okay, so take us back to square one on the Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors, because I'm really pushing for volunteers here. I think,
Yeah.
and you're looking.
Yes, and you don't even have to be in healthcare. As long as you want to get back to the community, you like planning events with us, raising money, helping seniors, coming to our events every last Thursday for education. You don't have to be in healthcare to be a member.
Wow, it's amazing. So again, your phone numbers that they can get in touch with you.
To contact me directly is 561-445-9937. If I'm not available, just leave a message. I'll call them back immediately. I do have a lot of meetings. But if they call, just leave a message. I'll call them back immediately. If they want to get involved, if they just want to know where the meetings are and just go to meetings, that's great. If they want to get involved and be a board member, absolutely. I'll tell them to go about that, because like I said, we love volunteers.
Well, Christine, how difficult is it? You mentioned folks that, either Medicare or Medicaid, dealing with the governmental bodies for you.
All right, so I'm sorry, I didn't get that whole thing.
How
Are you talking
difficult?
about the seniors?
Yeah, well, and you guys in particular, helping the seniors dealing with the governmental bodies.
Well, If they financially qualify, it's pretty easy. We just, if it's Medicaid, they go through the area on aging for the application. We just give them the direct phone number. We do have some people who specialize in helping to get that push through. And then because they want to go into a community, that's why they need it. I need the Medicaid so I can go pay for a community. We have some resources that we would refer them to, and they would do all the paperwork for them and get them into a community. If it's the VA, aid and attendance, that is supposed to be going towards healthcare, which, you know, is the caregiver coming in the home. As long as they financially qualify, we have a couple of people that we get their paperwork done quickly. It's when they don't financially qualify. So if they need to know what those qualifications are, they can contact us. But if they don't financially qualify, then we, like I said, we have attorneys that we work with, like Proactive Legal, and help them get them their finances situated. We call it asset protection, so that they can qualify for that help.
Well, now, do you also, I mean, of course, every April is tax season.
Yeah.
Do you have like CPAs that you can refer out to as well?
There's one that I really like. Her name is Sherelle. They actually did a it's a VA group home in Tradition, and they named that in honor of her father. And she happens to be an accountant, and she actually does some free tax services for the indigent. So if they're indigent, she will do their taxes for free, and I love her to death. She's wonderful. But so if they need that information, they're more than happy to contact me, and I'll get them in touch with her.
And of course, that center is so amazing. You know,
Yeah.
they've been planning that for, I don't know what, 15 years or something.
Yes, I know.
Finally got rammed through. It was great.
Yeah, and they're building out there. They're building so much out there. I believe there's even VTAS is going out there as well. They're doing a lot out in Tradition.
Oh yeah, that's next growth area. It's interesting. Our IRSC Small Biz Florida show. We have updates every year from Dr. Jerry Parrish, who's the, I guess, population guru of the state of Florida. And he is saying that Tradition is going to grow to 128,000 by 2028.
I truly believe they're not going to even call it Port St. Lucie. I believe it's going to be strictly called Tradition. I know that they're going to branch off. I know that's coming. It's so huge.
It is. It's very large. St. Lucie County Schools is already planning 2 high schools way out west. So this is past Range Line Road. So yeah, it's amazing. We're growing right up to the Okeechobee bounds.
Wow. And it's going fast now too. Yeah.
Well, now, how many nurses and attendants do you actually need to keep up with this growth? I would imagine that would be kind of
absolutely.
staggering.
You have everyone coming, retiring here, and it happens in groups because, you know, the people that are coming here now are just hitting the retirement age. They typically don't need help at that age unless, God forbid, early onset dementia kicked in, or they went to have surgery. Maybe they only need help for a week or two, just when, you know, recouping at home. But it typically is the older generation, like in the 80s and 90s. So you always need that huge flux of CNAs and HHAs to help out with these seniors. And we did have a shortage during, you know, COVID. It was a huge shortage because a lot of them started traveling, and some of them even got out of the industry altogether because they were so scared of COVID and overwhelmed. But I do see now it's becoming easier and easier. They're becoming more available. They are now re-registering with the agencies and, you know, entering our rosters. We call them rosters. To where our roster went back up, where every agency was declining, even the ALFs, the rehabs, they all had problems finding these CNAs to work for them because of COVID.
Wow. But data's starting to rebound now.
Yes, I do see it rebounding.
Wow, that's good news. That's really good news. Well, you know, we're so glad you're out there at Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors. And again, your website?
The website, I believe, is tcadvocates.org. But the email address, if they need any information, I'll direct them to the Facebook page. I'll send them the links if that's what they need, is tcadvocatesfl@gmail.com.
And again, is it the children of a lot of the people that will be getting in touch with you?
Yes, it mostly almost always is the children, unfortunately. Some of the spouses will reach out to us after they can't do it anymore, developed a hernia. When we tried to tell them this may happen, or I'm going to take care of my spouse myself, I'm like, well, you're just as fragile as they are. And then, you go try to catch them. The next thing you know, both of you are in the hospital. So the hospitals are huge advocates for us. The hospitals, the rehab, saying they want safe discharges, and they know there's a spouse at home, but the spouse is, maybe you got a 6-foot husband and you're 5 foot and tiny, and there's no way you're going to catch your husband when he goes down and he's unsteady on his feet. So that rehabs and the hospitals do advocate for us, and because they want a safe discharge. Because sometimes these seniors are, nope, I don't want anyone in my house, and I can do it, I'm going to do it. And then next thing you know, we're being called in because now both of them need help because somebody fell again.
Wow. Yeah, that does happen. Now, do you find, say, a senior, you mentioned of actually getting familiar with one nurse or another that, may keep them there for some time?
Mm-hmm. And that's good. We want them to bond with their CNA or HHA or even their nurse, whichever they prefer. We want them to bond. We want them to become part of the family, and that person, and then they start treating that family member, the husband or wife, like their own. And that's how they're getting the best care.
That's great. So now with the HHA, would they actually like prepare meals and stuff like that?
Absolutely. They're not gourmet cooks, although some of them think they are or maybe. But yes,
I think we're all there.
meals.
Yes.
Yeah. We've had some homes who wanted the lamb chops and the scallops, and I'm like, wait a minute. We'll see if they know that, but they're not gourmet cooks. But they do prepare meals. Absolutely. But most of our seniors, they start losing their taste buds change, and it becomes, or dietary needs, diabetic, low salt. So we have to watch that, and they do specialize in that as well.
Well, and that's funny. You talk about taste buds changing. Even with me, my morning coffee, sometimes it tastes great. Other times it doesn't. So yeah, and it's the same thing. I don't know. It happens.
Yeah.
It's tough getting older. Oh boy. But this has been really an enlightening hour, to say the least. Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors. And
yes.
It's Christine Rigg. And again, you can get in touch with you, and your phone number again.
561-445-9937.
And the email?
The email is tcadvocatesfl for Florida @gmail.com.
Okay. And now, next question. If somebody is, say, heading south or heading north, you've got counterparts, I guess, in other counties as well, right?
Every county, unfortunately, has its own nonprofits, and I'm familiar with Broward, Palm Beach, because I have lived amongst those counties. So, and I work a lot in those counties. So I happen to know a lot of those nonprofits as well. But unfortunately, they're not the same in every county. Every county has its own nonprofits, and sometimes it's really hard for those seniors to figure out what they are or what's available for them.
Okay. Yeah. So there's no standardization.
Yes. Unless it's a big one, of course, like Red Cross, United Way, those are, the huge ones. But the small ones that stay within the community, those are the ones that people don't realize what's available to them.
Well, I just think that, of course, you're talking about not just Harbor Place, but a lot of the facilities here. And Jack has talked about this on the show too, utilizes, nurses and CNAs coming in from
yes.
the very private facilities.
Mhm. So when you are at an assisted living facility, they do have their CNAs, but the ratio may be like 1 to 10, 1 to 20. I'm not sure exactly what the ratio is. It depends on how many seniors you have in that community. But that sometimes when those seniors they're a fall risk, or they need that extra care, that's when they call in the one-on-one, the private ones, so they can have that one-on-one care.
And of course, all of your people go into Harbor Place as well.
Yes, we do.
That's great. That's really, really great stuff. So Christine Rigg, Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors. Hopefully you'll get your golf tournament going. You're going to get your gala back up and you can raise a lot of money.
Yeah, so we can help those seniors. That's our goal.
There it is. What a goal it is. There's no doubt about it. Well, thank you so much for being with us. I know Jack speaks very highly of you. So, just kind of keep her rolling there at Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors. And again, your phone number.
561-445-9937.
And the email address?
tcadvocatesfl@gmail.com.
That's wonderful. So Christine Rigg, Treasure Coast Advocates for Seniors. Thank you so much for being on Never Alone from Harbor Place. You have a good day, Christine.
Thank you.
Oh, information. She's amazing.
Discover a luxurious lifestyle. Discover Harbor Place in Port St. Lucie, offering the finest in independent and assisted living. Do you want to spend your golden years maintaining a home, cleaning a house? Not at Harbor Place. The experienced staff at Harbor Place takes care of everything so you can enjoy all that the community has to offer. Call 772-337-4330 for a tour of the gem of senior living on the Treasure Coast. Are you or your parents swimmers? Enjoy the beautiful outdoor pool. After your swim, enjoy fine dining with your friends. And don't forget to explore the Treasure Coast, from hiking trails to numerous golf courses. Active seniors enjoy Harbor Place. You can join them too. 337-4330, Harbor Place, and welcome home.